I feel like COVID, with me being home all the time and whatnot, kind of set us up for where we are now with us being both fully remote.
Yes.
Um, so we can actually play nicely and get along with each other,
Yes.
even though you still bring stinky lunch into the office.
I don't anymore.
Oh, salmon days. I love those.
It was very healthy, full of protein. Don't knock my
All
salmon.
right. So just respect your coworker, your office coworker, you know?
Or you could try it. You have not tried it.
No, I smelt it. That's enough. So reflecting on the homeschooling, uh, I think there were some really positive things there, things that make me smile when I think about it,
Yeah.
especially uh, the PE with Joe makes me happy. The learning the new instruments make me happy, and then I honestly forgot about the rewards thing that we did.
Yeah.
Got them like little Dollar Tree toys or
Yeah, I think we got some
Hot Wheels.
ninjas or
Yeah,
something that they were super into at that point in time.
yeah. Um, so not just homeschooling was one of the things, and obviously time for myself, but I was able to, since I had so much time on my hands, like start tinkering around with stuff. And I had this old arcade 1-up machine, and that's when I rebuilt that whole entire thing and made an emulator out of it, get all the ROM files and all that stuff, and I rewired the whole thing. So
Forgot about that. Yeah.
kind of rekindled a hobby during that time as well. I don't know if we did too many things outdoors then.
We went more towards the farm. We spent a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of time at the farm with the horses and stuff.
yeah. And then we were able to go to up north,
Yeah, we spent a lot of time up north.
which was very drastic and a change because
Yes.
down here it was like almost everybody was wearing a mask, and then we went up north about 3.5 hours away. Everything was all kind of loose, and not everybody was wearing
Yeah,
masks.
and it's a lot more spaced out up there. So there wasn't, I don't think
That's
that there
true.
was that much of a threat, especially when you were in your home. Our neighborhood that we live in isn't like super congested. There is like a lot of land, but up north it's woodsy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like when we went out to eat and stuff. I don't think people were even wearing masks.
I don't think we went out to eat, did it?
I thought so.
I blocked out some stuff.
I thought we did, but yeah, I mean, it even when we went to the grocery store,
I didn't go to the
there's
grocery
you
store.
didn't, but I did. But there was a lot of people not wearing masks.
Yeah.
And you know what the funny thing about the grocery store was is because when COVID first happened, everyone was so afraid of kids. Remember?
Yeah.
So I would bring, to give Deanna a break and also get the kids out of the house, I would bring one of our kids with us. We only had two at the time because
Yeah.
the third was on the way. And I would bring one of them or both of them with me. And you should see the looks that I got from people when I was walking down the aisle with them.
Was it magical? Like you didn't have to talk to anybody? It was like your dream come true.
I mean, they looked like them like they were the devil and like to stay away from me.
It's terrible.
And I forgot about that, how the grocery stores were one-way aisles. Do you remember that?
I remember you telling me that.
And I would curse under my breath when someone was going the wrong way. You fucking idiot. What are you doing? You can't follow an arrow
The floor.
on the floor and
This
on the
blue
side?
arrow.
Yeah. So I would get so pissed off at that. So then obviously it came out that it wasn't kids that started this whole COVID thing,
Right,
or it
yeah.
wasn't them. It was just, whatever. What a crazy time. But what's crazy about it is that I don't hate it that much. Like obviously getting laid off was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And then not knowing what was going to happen with the house. Because I don't know if everybody out there knows it, but if my employer told our title agency and our mortgage person that
Right.
that I got laid off, that's 50% of our income.
Right. Yeah. So that could jeopardize it.
Yeah. Then you
And then
wouldn't
at
be able
that point in time, we had already sold our
other house.
existing
Yep.
house. Yeah.
So I mean, we could have been screwed.
We could have. Yep.
And then, you just think back on it like, oh God, we're so stupid. Why did we add that backsplash on there?
I love that
Why did
backsplash.
I don't know. Why did I take that lunch? Why did I take that free dinner from my manager so he
Yeah.
didn't have a guilt trip? So
One of my highlights
yeah.
during that was my siblings and I on my mom's side would do like weekly Skype calls.
Oh, right.
And it would just be like the entire family. And I mean, on my mom's side, there's a lot of kids
Mhm.
and they have a lot of kids. And I saw them more during the lockdown than I have in the
Virtually.
last, yeah, I saw them more virtually than I have in person
Yeah.
over the last 5 years.
Mhm.
And it was really nice seeing them.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a very weird time, but it also felt I'm a very um I'm an introvert, right? You're more
Mhm.
of an extrovert. So it felt really good to me
Yeah.
to be able to be like, "Oh, we can't go out? Oh, dang it."
Man,
You
I
know?
was looking forward to that.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to the bar tonight. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to hang out with all the kids,
Right.
every single one of them.
And
So,
I mean, it really showed us a lot of our kids' personality during that too, like education wise. Like Preston, our oldest, he hated the way that I was teaching. He hated the way that I put things together. He could not wait to get back to the classroom with his friends and learn in that environment.
right.
Braden thrived.
Yeah, he did.
He was like,
He
"You
needed more
mean to tell
structure.
me I don't have to see anybody or talk to anybody?
Yep.
This is amazing." It wasn't until he, you remember this? He drew a face on a basketball and started carrying it around.
I do remember. It was up north.
Yeah, it was a
He's like, "This is my buddy."
yeah, he called him his buddy. And then I thought, yeah, I feel like we need more people around us.
I don't. I think he was just being a kid with imagination. He wasn't like Castaway
Right?
with Tom Hanks and Wilson.
Yeah, I do remember thinking this is really cute, but then also thinking maybe we need to get back into society.
No, I'm good in the woods. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Come deliver my groceries and leave me alone.
But he is very much like you. He can walk into a room, look around, and be like, "No,
Yeah.
none of this.
Yeah.
No, thank you."
I didn't have to do that during COVID.
No, you didn't.
Well, if I did, I'd be screwed because
Right.
the people in the room were you guys. So, um, so yeah, once again, the highlights of staying in, obviously, we're laughing about it. We can think back and kind of laugh about the stuff that happened. We were fortunate enough to have our finances in order, thanks to Deanna for being smart with money, to where I could be laid off. Because let me tell you, the state of Michigan was no help
No, they
in
really weren't.
unemployment and stuff like that. So
You had to
um,
really hound them
I did. Yeah, yeah.
every single week for like months. You
Yeah,
called them every week.
they had to back pay me like 10 or 15 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was insane. And to think like
Oh, and
if
there was no operator to pick up your call.
right,
It
I
was all
remember that.
emails.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a sad part of it, is because I had to help my dad figure out how to do that.
Yeah,
Help
that's
my
right.
dad figure out how to file for unemployment while his son is
It's
filing for
yeah.
unemployment.
Yeah,
So,
because you guys would talk to each other every week, like,
no, he came over. Remember? And I
no,
helped him
like,
file on the computer. But
yeah,
yeah, did
yeah,
you get paid? No, I
yeah,
didn't get paid. But
right,
he
right.
definitely got paid before I did.
He did.
So,
Maybe they went down the line in terms of age.
who needed it most?
Yes.
Yeah,
Single man.
yeah. So it kind of, like, the lessons that we learned about our ourselves are really the priorities, right? So
Hmm.
we didn't need to. I mean, at the end of the day, even though I honestly, to this day, I still really enjoyed working for that manager, that company. He did give me severance for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or something like that afterwards. I can't remember what it was, but after he laid me off. So that was very nice of him. But you learn about the priorities, that family is first, your
Yeah.
dogs are first, kids are first. Don't know how long your parents are going to be around for. Don't know how long your dogs that have been with you for 14, 15 years are going to be along for. And your boss can easily say, fuck you.
Mhm.
So,
Really puts things into perspective.
And I was at that job for 5 years, and I worked every single weekend.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, obviously, not every single weekend, but I mean,
Well, you
90% of the weekends I worked.
yeah, you worked at least one day out of the weekend,
Yeah,
at least, if not both, at
yeah.
least one.
And, I put that family time on the back burner because I got a job.
Mhm.
Job that I stayed loyal to for 5 years, never really asked for a raise, and, it was a "fuck you," because
Mhm.
the owner didn't get his priorities straight.
Yeah,
So, you learn more things going back to the positive stuff instead of the negative stuff. You learn more things that family's more important, health is more important, who you're with, who you still have in your life is more important, staying connected is more important than that 9 to 5 grind, 8 to 5 grind, 10 to 6, whatever it was, weekend work. Uh, so yeah, that kind of enlightened it there. And how simplifying our life kind of created an easier life. I feel like especially me, I feel like if I don't want to do anything right now, if I don't want to do something, I feel like we're more inept to be like, no, I don't want to do it. Whereas
yeah,
before, I feel like we felt like, all right, they asked me to come, I have to do this. The kid has this at school, we have to go. Where when COVID was locked down, we could choose
yeah.
honestly with our lives what we wanted to do.
Right, yeah,
And now I think it's rolled over to us being like, no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather stay home. I'd rather do this. I'd rather enjoy my life than do something I don't want to be a part of.
yeah. It has to be really important for me to invest my time in. I think that's what I kind of learned the most was how important and valuable time was
Yeah,
and how you were going to put your energy into it. So that's what I kind of focused in on and what I kind of took away from it was how I don't necessarily have to be the pleaser
yeah,
that I was. And if I don't want to do it, I don't have to.
yeah.
Um, and
We're
then
not we're not kids anymore.
right,
Like you can't not to sound like a kid, you can't make me.
right, exactly.
Na 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 na. You can't make me, but
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like we're so
But I feel like it also helped us put together, since we were together all the time, the four of us at that time, um, set those expectations and not really expectations, but set those standards for our kids to understand like how it's important to invest yourself and into what you want to do.
yeah,
And that kind of, carried forward and having them understand, you know, what we do on a daily basis and how we're spending our energy and what we've done for each other. It's kind of put the
as
whole
far
entire,
as like work,
yeah,
chores,
yeah,
shopping, because they had to see it all.
practice,
Yeah,
games and putting together the schedule.
yeah,
It's just, kind of like this is how our family works. This is what's important to our family um and we all play a role essentially.
yeah. So how do we maintain that balance from COVID? Or do we have any tips for listeners that we can portray to them on how you maintain that balance?
So on my end, I've kind of been more inclined to put myself um forward.
Yeah,
And I've really mentally prioritized myself
right.
and what's important to me, like working out or you know,
Reading a book, taking me
reading a
time.
book, but then also not investing time into people that I don't care about,
Yeah.
especially like kids, parents that I don't align with. And that's kind of
You've
who I
never been more attractive when you said that.
that's how I kind of like make the balance. Like if I hit it off with like a mom or something
Right,
from like a, football or soccer or something, I'm like, I dig your energy.
right.
I feel like we could be friends. you know?
Which you have recently,
Yeah, I have.
but yeah, there were some situations, some friends that, or friends, parents of our kids were to, we almost felt like we were like tied to them. We had to, hang out with them, entertain them, do the friendly thing, inviting them over, hanging out, whatever it is. And as big of an asshole as I sound, not everyone is for everyone, right? Not everyone
Right.
fits your mold.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I've carried forward. Unless it's making my heart happy, I'm not putting my energy into it.
Yeah.
And that's what I would kind of just throw out to everybody is just kind of like finding that balance and what makes you personally happy, what makes your family as a whole happy, and put your energy towards that and like not waste it on things that don't necessarily, I don't want to say like benefit you, but doesn't make you feel good.
hmm Now, in the last podcast, we talked about pushing your kids into something,
Mhm.
pushing them too hard. This COVID lockdown pushed us into something that we probably, if someone said, "Hey, I need you to go do this,"
Right. Yeah.
we didn't want to do it. We didn't want to be locked down at
Right.
the beginning, right? But it reshaped us being pushed into a hard situation,
Yeah.
reshaped us on how we think of our lives, our free time, our time off, our time at home. Um, so yeah, we were pushed into a hard situation that probably that I don't think any sane person would be like, yeah,
Let's do that.
yeah, I'll take a lay off.
Yeah. I'll be locked and confined in the house
Yeah,
with two small children.
yeah, I'll take my dog's deaths,
Right. Yeah.
you know.
No.
Um, but it did mold us into hopefully stronger people for the future.
Yeah, it definitely did. I feel like another like positive that I kind of took away from it was, I mean, because through the whole process, while teaching the boys and being pregnant and everything, obviously it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows.
hmm
There was a lot of really hard times where I just wanted to not be here.
Yeah,
So when that kind of crept up, it was kind of like, how do I fix this? You
right.
know? And then that's when I started to write down all the funny stuff that they say
Oh,
and they
right.
do.
Yeah,
And then I would kind of like when I would get into a Debbie Downer type of mood, I would read through it and remind myself that I do love these children.
that's
No.
funny because actually one of the things that I have in here is that to reflect
Yeah.
for the listeners to reflect and how we can do it going forward is to start small habits to bring back kind of calmness,
Mhm.
and one would be journaling to kind
Yeah.
of balance out yourself, balance out your thoughts, and like you said, go back to it
Yeah,
when
and
you've had a rough day.
yeah, and I still do that to this day.
Mhm.
Um, all the funny or crazy or like very specific to their character things that they do, I just write it down. And I mean, it's a huge journal that now I can reflect on and if it doesn't turn out to be anything, at least it's like a timeline of for them to look at
Yeah.
one day if they want to or throw away, whatever.
Was there anything else that we didn't include that you wanted to talk
No, I
about the lockdown?
think that was it.
Okay. So while none of us wanted to relive the hardships of COVID, it's worth remembering the moment that helped us reconnect with what really matters. Once again, with family, friends, ourselves, husband, wives, relationships. Um, so, I encourage you, if there is any suggestions or any stories of how COVID went with you, is there any silver linings that you had, um, that you would like to share with us? We greatly appreciate you listening. Please feel free to subscribe, follow us on social media, and we greatly appreciate once again if you've made it this far into this podcast listening to us. And I'm Matt,
I'm Deanna.
and this is Chasing Balance.
Real life parenting, one conversation at a time.
We'll see you later.